Hi, I'm Joe Chapman, and I served as president in 1971 to 72. I really had some good board members, such as Phil Murphy, he was president-elect. Robert Lee was past president. Ed Takemeyer was secretary-treasurer. Larry Voorhees and Rodney Drew, and for membership chairs was Lynn Moeller. I really enjoyed being president and working with these great board members. I was very lucky. I guess a little bit about myself I'm supposed to do. So I graduated from Wymore High School. I spent my freshman year at University of Nebraska at Lincoln on football and track scholarships. The coaches and music teachers couldn't work out my school schedule, so I transferred to Doane College, where I lived for 3 years in the coach's office in the gym. It was the most public room on the entire campus. Talk about, I came with my shower one time, ran clear across the gym, nobody was in there, so I just carried my towel, stark naked, and I looked out the door and there was somebody playing tennis right across the street, and I waited till that girl was facing the other way, jumped in the office, turned around my bunk bed to throw my towel on the bed, and there were two girls sitting there on the bed waiting to use the only telephone in the whole building. So I might say that it was one of my most embarrassing moments. Anyway, I got my Bachelor of Arts degree from Doane College and my Master of Arts from the University of Northern Colorado. And that's where I met my wife, Jane. She was an outstanding vocal and music teacher, and she taught also at Decatur Herman and Bassett, and she never had a music degree, which is rare. But they found out she was pretty good, so they said she can be my assistant and pretend like I'm doing most of the teaching for her. Before I met her, she taught women's PE program in Missouri, and she set up an entire girls' PE program for the schools in Missouri. So she was very good at whatever she did. My first teaching job was at Shickley. I was there for 3 years, and one of my students turned out to be an outstanding Nebraska band director, and that was Stanley Johnson, who you all know. He's still serving on committees here today. My third year at contest at Shickley, I started the band from scratch the first year, and we had 3 judges from Kansas University, and they judged there all 3 years. So they heard my band all 3 years. When I got done playing that last year, I couldn't believe it. They all 3 stood up and applauded and applauded and applauded. They couldn't believe, they said, how good that band got in only 3 years. So that was one of my very exciting moments. I then went to Rock County High School in Bassett for 1 year and enjoyed that there, but then I got a call from the island of Guam, and I knew one of the guys over there real well. He recommended me, and they wanted me to come over there and start an orchestra program on their island. So that's what I did for 2 years. And they bought every single thing that I needed. I couldn't believe it. And when I was there, I also taught a boys' glee of 70 students, and at least one-third of them were over 21 years of age because of World War II. And they couldn't go to school. They had to help serve in the military. And so I was stopped into a restaurant one night, and I heard all these guys hollering, "Mr. Chapman, Mr. Chapman, come over here." And I looked, and there was all those kids, some of them that were over 20, was sitting there all around the table drinking beer, and wanted me to come over and drink beer with them. So I just sat down and talked with them a while, and I say, "Mr. Chapman, some of those kids can't keep their mouths shut. I notice you have to keep hollering at them." Said, "Would you like us to help you out there?" "Well, sure, if you want to. Yeah, I would appreciate it." Well, the next day when I had choir and a couple of those kids started talking, a bunch of those guys stood up and said, "You guys shut your mouth, Mr. Chapman's trying to teach us something." And they always did that. I never had any more discipline problems after that. They helped so much. And then about the end of my first year there, right after school, 3 guys yelled at me, "Mr. Chapman." I looked, and they were foreigners. I found out they were from the island of Samoa. Mr. Chapman, we need to talk to you. Say, we perform all the time for generals' parties, admirals' parties, because there's so many military people on that island, Marines and so forth. I says, our string bass player for the first time got shipped out. Do you play string bass? I said, well, I play a little bit. Well, would you help us out? So that's what I did for a little over a year, and I played for all these big parties, I mean big parties, and got paid for it, and I really had a good time with those guys. Then, after only being there 2 years, then I went back to Bassett for only 1 year because I enjoyed it 1 year there. And I just really had some great years there. And I stayed there then until 1965, and then I took the band job at Takema, Nebraska. After 13 years there, I took the junior high band job at Ottawa, Iowa for 2 years, and then spent 6 years doing a sales business for Henco Incorporated. But I really missed teaching, so I returned to Takema. They wanted me to come back, so I went back there for my last 6 years of teaching and retired in 1992. I then worked for Dietz Music House until 2010, and I really enjoyed that job also because I got to see all these band directors, and of course most of the band directors I got, so they played in my community band in Blair. After 3 months of doing nothing, then I got so bored after I retired from doing Dietz, I took a job driving cars for Woodhouse Ford in Blair. About 85 of us do that, but only 5 of us drive, oh, I say kind of locally, not too far away from Blair. But the other 80 guys drive in about 40 some states, and I just didn't want to drive that far, so I'm very happy with what I'm doing. I really did love my years of teaching, and I would absolutely do it all over again. I really loved working with young people, even young women. I did a lot of band clinics in 3 states, and I judged a lot of contests in Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, and South Dakota. And I judged a few years at Adventureland in Des Moines, Iowa, which I thoroughly enjoyed doing, because boy, I heard some good bands over there in that group. Anyway, I then started the Blair Area Community Band in 1992, and I have about 70 some people in it, and I just turned it over this past year to Jeff Mount, who is the high school band director at Blair. And I also used to direct the Shrine Band in Omaha. I still play in it, but I turned it over to Roger Dill from Valley. I still direct and play in the T-Bone Band from Takema, where I taught for quite a few years. That I started them in 1967, and I have kept a record of every performance we've ever had. And when we last played in August at the fair in Oakland, Nebraska in June, that was our 330th performance, which is not bad for a bunch of old guys. And we had no women in the band, just a bunch of old guys. I also still play with a Civil War band in Fremont. And I help all the time. I'm on the board in Lincoln that runs the Masonic All-Star Marching Band Camp. And they perform then at the high school all-star football game. We usually have about 250 students in the band. And I'm here at the Bandmasters Convention now, and I noticed she's there with her things trying to get more kids signed up to play in that band, and I'm going to be working with them again. That camp's about five days. Thoroughly enjoy it. I've also been blessed with so many awards like the Donald A. Lance Outstanding Bandmaster Award. I was inducted into the Nebraska Music Educators Hall of Fame in 1995. I'm a past president of the American School Band Directors Association. I served as national chairman for the Sites Committee of the American School Band Association. And I received the Master Teacher Award from the Omaha World Herald in 1989. I'm the first recipient of the Doane College Outstanding Alumni Music Educator Award in 1992. I really love serving as president of Nebraska Bandmasters and had so many great people to work with. For all you guys out there, just keep working hard and keep this organization going. I don't really think our organization has changed much. and it's still going strong, and I'm so thankful and so glad that it has. Thank you very much. Enjoy talking to you.